Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Titan Chain Alloy Snow Tire Chains with square links here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So this is going to be a very nice way, guys, of giving you that traction control you're looking for and not being too aggressive. So what I do like about these guys, going to be a bit of a smoother ride. Now, is it going to be well suited for your big off-road heavy-duty applications? Probably not. We have a variety of different chains here today at etrailer.com that you guys could look at to actually give you a bit more aggressive options if you're looking for that. But if you really just want something to kind of give you that traction control you're looking for on your more standard kind of road applications, I think this is going to be a great fit here. So why I like these guys, these square links are going to be quite large, doing a good job of breaking up that ice and of course churning through that snow that we're going to be encountering. But again, not really impacting our driving too bad, which is excellent. Now we are having a ladder style chain on here, and that is going to be impacting our driving just a little. And why I say that, well, we're going to get excellent start and stop maneuvers with this guy because we have these hills and valleys we have to overcome every time. To that end though, if we were to make any kind of left or right turns, we're definitely going to feel those hills and valleys one more time, and to accelerate over those hills, you're going to have to give it, well, a little more acceleration, and that can make it a little harder to make your turns. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I actually do have a diamond pattern for our Gladiator here today, so you are pretty much going to be pretty listed to these ladder style chains. Now, again, they do an excellent job. That'd be my one little caveat though, that you definitely are going to feel it on those lefts and that rights. Now, what is the makeup here of our chains? Well, we are going to have an alloy construction. However, it's going to be right here on this kind of yellow chromate looking stuff. It actually is manganese nickel alloy construction, making sure it is well suited to that corrosion and all those agents we're going to have on the road, whether it just be our snow and our ice, or of course, any of the additives that we're adding to clear that snow and that ice. So to that end though, they are going to be very resistant to corrosion, but you are going to have your low carbon steel here on the side. Now these guys are going to be a little less resistant to those agents, so let's make sure we're still just doing a good job spritzing off our chains when we're not in use. And speaking of that, if you guys are storing this for a long time and waiting for the next season that you need them, I highly suggest putting a little bit of oil and grease on them. Can go a long way while they're in storage to make sure they're ready to go the next time that we need them. So one thing I do like about these as well, we do come with cams as well. Now these guys make it really, really easy to actually get installed here on our Gladiator. Now you guys are about to see that just here later on in a second in the video, but I really do like how those guys work. So before we get into our installation, a couple little things we need to get out of the gate. Why do we have it here on our front tire? Well, all Gladiators are going to come with your four-wheel drive drivetrain, which is great. To that end though, you know, there are varying different opinions on where we should actually put our chains. The safest bet, go ahead and grab yourself 2 pairs of these chains. That way you have one for the front and the back, and it can be a little dependent on how much weight you have in the bed of your vehicle, but primarily a lot of people find themselves putting it here on the front because as we are on those road conditions, as we're trying to come to a stop in that ice and that snow, that weight of our vehicle is going to be coming forward, right? With that momentum, it's going to be shifting and putting pressure here on our front tires, and therefore that's going to make it a lot easier to give ourselves that traction and that control that we're looking for as it all shifts to the front. So that's kind of why I have it here in the front today. Again, going to be a little bit up to you, and let's check all of our local laws to make sure we're staying well within those guidelines. Now we do have it here on our 70 R18 tires, and let's make sure we're putting our own tire size into the fit guide here at etrailer.com. That way we're getting the right fit for our vehicle at home. Otherwise though, it's not going to take us too much time to actually get these installed. Let's go ahead and see how we can do that. To begin our installation, what we want to do, lay out our chain just like so. What we're looking for here, any kind of kinks or binds our chains might have gotten while they're in storage. Really easy though, just to walk them out. A lot of times too, your hooks just kind of get caught up somewhere. But let's just go ahead and make sure we have no binds. That way it's a better fit here on the wheel of our vehicle. Now we do have our cams here as well, so we want to make sure that they are further away from our wheel, right? Because we actually need them on the outside. And the other thing to take note of, we want to make sure that our hooks here are actually pointed up and away. Why that is, well, we're going to be setting our chain on our tire, and we don't want these to make contact with our wheel, because that can end up damaging it and, you know, potentially puncturing it, which definitely be not good for ourselves. But with all that in mind, we simply want to bring ourselves to the very middle here of our chains. And what I like to do as well, I kind of pick it up, and I like to kind of get my elbows on the other side of my supports. That lets me kind of wing this and get it away from my rims, and then I can just gently set it there on my wheel. And at this stage too, what I'm looking for here is seeing how the bottoms, where my connection is going to be here at the bottom, is actually having the necessary room to fit itself on there. and just checking my chains all around my wheel. What I like to do, make sure they're perpendicular. We don't want them really skewed, right? We want to pull them in, and that way they're going straight across. And that way we're going to uniform fit all across our wheel. Now we do need to bring ourselves on the inside of our wheel though to make our first connection. We have our extra chains and we just need to make our first connection. To do that, I'm going to take my hook here, simply slot it in. Now we want to take our chain here, set it in place. I think I can get a little bit of a shift over here, just a little bit. Go ahead and get a better fit on my wheel. That's looking just a little better. And now I can take this cam, tighten it back. And I think I can actually go to one more here. Looks like it is quite a large chain. And again, I may shorten up that back connection just depending on how this looks when I'm done. So with that in mind, I'm going to pull back my chain here, make my first connect or my last connection, double check my chains. I can see it's definitely doing a little bit of pulling there at the bottom, but overall not too bad. I do have quite a bit of chain here that's a little loose, but let's try our cam tighteners, see how well the job they do of tightening this up. So we simply take our tool here, insert it into our cams, tighten it up, and you can see that's taken all that slack out. Just going to repeat that process all the way around our wheel. And for our last one. So that guy's getting pretty close. I'm going to reapproach here. We're going to make sure we're not impacting too much because we definitely want to scrape our sidewall. Leverage is definitely going to be your friend. Getting towards the rear of this bar is helpful to get the leverage you need to get it on. But just like that, we've taken out all that slack. I have a few little guys that are moving around, but I think once our chains kind of bend themselves here at the bottom, as we rotate, we're going to be in a very good position. So I really like how these cams work. Now, one thing I may suggest, if you want an even more secure fit here, you could grab yourself a rubber tensioner just to take out that last little bit of slack. But you guys can see we really don't have that much here on our vehicle. And again, we have those extra chains in the back. If we needed to, we can tighten one more up and we're in a good spot. But otherwise, looks like we're nice and installed. Otherwise, though, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Titan Chain Square Alloy Snow Chains here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.